All my visual artists out there, how do you sustain yourself in 2026 as a freelance artist? It's not easy in this world doing it. And I think with my journey, sharing the tips of what I've been through, the story, how I'm able to maintain, how I'm able to elevate, I think it's very important. I'm here at College Track, Baltimore. It's a new college track program for the students of the city of Baltimore. I'm doing a new mural for a client. And I think this kind of is a big part of what I do in my artistry and how I'm able to, maintain my living, get new opportunities, and just do new things. So I just want to break that down. Nothing crazy. It's really just a work session, but me talking through it with y'all, I think it's going to be very valuable for the day. So let's take it back. So when I first started to realize art was my thing, it's really been my God-given ability my entire life. I think it was something that I just always gravitated to, and I don't think there's ever a mistake with that, especially when you're young. Like the vulnerability and the genuineness, is that a word? But the ingenuity of children speaks for itself. You can't fake it. And I've always been that type of person to be hands-on, to always want to build something, always want to create something, always want to draw, and just gravitated to me throughout my whole life. So that's always been in me. That's always been instilled in me. But for me to do this as a full-time career, that came during college. And truth be told, I didn't even know being an artist as a full-time career was a thing. Shout out to my professor during my last college class, literally as I was graduating, to know you can be an entrepreneur in the arts. And that really got me to where I am today, to create artwork for myself and people react to it. When I first started, it really was just a leap. Me just taking a leap of faith, me just trying something new, because I love the feeling of portraying something that I created all by myself. But at the same time, I got the reactions of people of how they perceived it and how they thought about my artwork as well. So after I graduated school, I kind of went on like an art tour. I started doing all these pop-up art shows on the East Coast, from New York, Virginia, DC, Philly, here in Baltimore. That feeling that I got from meeting different people was just so fulfilling. And it kind of changed the mantra of my artwork to evoke emotion out of people when they see my art. And it's one of those type things where the reaction that I seen, it just did something to me. It just really inspired me to keep going and to portray what's in my mind, what other people are thinking visually, to bring people together to one common thing. And to compound that on top of the idea that I can create revenue by myself, it was just a different idea that I never even thought of. So I took that full force and I started doing my own artwork for about, I started in 2016. So about 4 years, I was doing art shows, juried exhibitions, just meeting different people. And they always say the best teacher is experience. And I can't agree with them more, because the mistakes that I made and the people that I met, I wouldn't have done that by just watching YouTube. I wouldn't have done that by just reading a book. And it just shows you that you really have to be in the field, because you never know who you're going to come across and who you're going to meet. And that's very, very important in life, not just in art, but in life. So from those different interactions, I've just learned different things, different tidbits about the game, about being an artist, what to do, what not to do, how to build relationships. And there's no book on how to do that. It's just something that happens. You never know who you're going to come across. You never know who's going to drop gems. And I always take that and I keep that in my mind, whether I use it immediately or if I use it 5 years down the line. But I have that knowledge and I'm able to really put that into application when the time comes. And early on, I think just finding your footing, becoming confident is major. I'm not going to say in my first show I was the most confident person. I really didn't know what to do, so I had no expectations. But I always been a person that, I just always felt worthy of wherever I am. If I'm in the room, I feel like I'm supposed to be in the room. And that plays a long part in art, because art is subjective. There's no right answer. That's what I love about it, because it's literally all opinion based, and it's all based on how you want to make it and how you feel towards it and how people feel towards your art. So you never should be discouraged if you feel like somebody doesn't like it, because there's literally no right answer. There's no facts in art. There just isn't. It's very subjective. The beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, that stands true to the test of time. And I felt like just over the years, I've been able to just learn people and gravitate to them through my artistry. Now, the change came in 2020 when the George Floyd uprising came, and one of my artist friends asked me if I wanted to do a mural. Now, I'm not a muralist. I'm an illustrator by trade. That's what I went to school for, art and design. But it showed me to take the leap and take the chance. At the time, I really didn't want to do it. And he asked me, did I want to do it? And I said, nah, I'm good. I really don't know how to do a mural. And I wasn't interested in, going in a different lane. So about a week or two went by, and he doubled back and he asked me again, bro, I think this is a good opportunity. Do you want to do the mural? And I take that as a sign from God, where somebody's going to double back after time has passed. It might be a sign to do it. And that just changed. Let me look at y'all. That just changed my whole life. Like, that whole opportunity and that whole experience just changed how I looked about art as a career, as people love my artwork. It was one of those type things where people gravitated so much to the message that we had. It was 12 of us doing a mobile mural, so we had 4x8 panels that went around different parts of the city. And the reaction that I got from people of spreading positivity of Black culture in Baltimore, which is a Black city, it was amazing. It was so amazing because I was getting DMs. I was getting people stopping me in the park where they were, because I would post up by my mural to just have people walk by and start the conversation. And seeing how a piece of art can really affect how somebody think, how somebody feel, I took it and I ran with it. From there, that just snowballed into so many different opportunities. And that's when I learned you really just have to be in the moment and seize the moment when it comes, because you never know what can come from it. Literally, from that opportunity of doing those murals, it snowballed into me doing 2.5 basketball courts in Baltimore, Maryland. I was approached by a high schooler that played on the courts every day, and he wanted to see them revitalized. He asked me to be the artist for it, and I took it and ran. And it's those type things where everything doesn't have to be money-based, especially when you're first starting with something. But it's about seeking an opportunity that you feel connected to, that you feel well-rooted and grounded, and taking it and running with it. And from doing those courts, I met so many people, and it just opened the floodgates for what I can do. And that leads to the opportunity of me fostering relationships, and that would leads to the different projects and the different sustainability of me, being a full-time artist. After I did the basketball courts, the floodgates opened. I recorded the process. I posted every day on social media. I shared my story. That's why when people say like Instagram and social media is dead, don't believe them, because people are watching. Whether they're interacting or not, they're watching. There's so many companies that I've worked with that said, I've seen your videos on YouTube. I've seen your Instagram. I love your work. Those companies never followed me. Those companies didn't press one like button. Those companies didn't comment or anything, but they seen my work. So you have to literally just have a fucking moment and just post everything, document the process, especially in the age of, AI, in the age of social media where everything seems so perfect. You got to just run. You just got to run with it, because at the end of the day, you never know who's watching. It's an open book for everybody to see. And literally that has fostered my relationships to grow and work with brands like the Baltimore Ravens, Dunkin' Donuts, the Orioles, Project Backboard, the city of Baltimore, Meta. It just opens up the opportunity, and it just shows that your work is valuable, and you just got to keep going. Now, along the way, those opportunities come, but that doesn't mean they're always consistent. And in this world, consistency is key. Consistency is key. When you're an entrepreneur, when you're a business, you have no business if nobody's coming, if nobody's calling, if you're not a solution to the problem. And I've worked through that and learned through that over the last 4 to 5 years, where I'll have a project and then not have a project for another 3 months. And now it comes to you creating the motion, you creating what you need to do to get those opportunities. And I learned that everybody's not going to come my way. I can post as much as I want on social media. That doesn't mean it's going to lock down the deal. And that's where I learned the art of pitching. And the art of pitching is knowing what you have, a solution to the problem. For me, it's me doing public art that'll affect the children, that'll affect the community, that'll be very effective to the people around me, to be an asset to the areas where people live. And that's what people seek out for. But people don't know that if you don't come with them with a proposal. So one thing I learned was to shoot my shot and to be in these rooms where the decision makers are being made, where the managers, where the marketing directors, for me in my field, with me doing public art, it's people that can pull the trigger for these projects to get done. Introducing myself and showing people my track record, the work that I've done, and seeing how it can apply to them. That's so important. And I've learned that over the last, I'm gonna say 2 years, where I've really picked it up to be able to do this consistently, full time without having as much struggle, if that makes sense. There's always a struggle. It's always gonna have your down seasons. I'm not gonna say this career is easy because it's not, but I'm showing you that it's possible to do in that process of doing it. So at the same time, when you're creating these opportunities for yourself, you gotta be able to execute, keep it succinct, and be able to talk to the right people. And that's where you go to these community meetings. That's where you go to these community meetings. That's where you go to these rallies. That's where you go to these networking events, and you just tell people how you're an asset. And that's literally just how it goes. It's so much more. I can dive deep into this. But here in 2026, it just shows the work that I'm doing, being here literally from a referral. The work speaks for itself, and you have to be able to stand 10 toes down and confident in what you do. It makes all the difference, executing and becoming just a hobby, doing it part-time to doing this full-time. You have to have an entire system. And I'm not perfect. Like, I'm literally still working through it now, but I think I'm at the time and at the place where I can see this. It's like, I'm at the point now where the training wheels are off, where I'm able to just ride, and I know how to make these connections to get the green light on projects. Public art has been a big thing for me for the last 5 years. That's what I've been focused on a lot. But I also do my personal artwork as well, where I'm able to evoke that emotion from my own thoughts and have it relate to the people. That's what my artistry is about. Everybody's art is different. It's not one size fits all. So what I do is based on my experiences living here in America, in Baltimore, sharing my relationships and my experience with the next person. They're able to relate to it. And when you can get that emotional pull from somebody, that's when they pull the trigger. Whether it's to sign off on a mural for you to do, whether it's them to buy a piece of artwork, some clothing, it's all about how you can relate to the person and evoke that emotion. But I definitely want to share that experience because I know it's artists out there watching. I know it's artists out there wondering, how do you keep this going? How do you keep it sustainable? How do you even make it a reality? Because we have these passions, we have these God-given talents, and the people should know that you should put this out into the world to make a difference. I'm doing it because nobody taught me how to do it. I wish I had a mentor growing up in this space. In my family, I'm like kind of the first one to be the full-time creative to do these things. It's not easy. It can be daunting at times, but I know my God-given gifts. I know what He's provided for me, and I know what I've been given for me to give out to the world, and I gotta share that mission. I gotta keep going and keep going. So let me know what y'all think about these talks, man. I don't know if I want to call them mural talks, but it's just while I'm on the job, I have these thoughts in my head, just want to share and get them out. So please like, comment, subscribe. And honestly, I gotta get back to work. It's 7 a.m. here in Baltimore. Got a deadline on this. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.